Good evening, free enterprise fans. And boy, oh boy, we have a race to figure out who wins the Blitz Whip. Tonight, for the Restream crew, we have S-Grunt being the Restreaming, Scythe Marshall being the good old tracker. I am joined here in the booth with my 2v2 partner, Future Man himself, Infinius. How's it going, Infinius?
I feel like I've made a poor life choice here, for some reason.
No, the only poor life choice is speedrunning Mystic Quest, so...
That's true, that's true. Speedrunning Mystic Quest isn't that a poor choice, but what is definitely not... what's definitely not a poor choice is trying to win the script, because, you know, if you win the script, you already make it to brackets. If you don't win, you have to play in the play-in. So, I'm sure we're going to blitz. I'm sure these runners will hope to blitz these objectives out of the way pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it could to Blitz with, that's pretty easy. Cast Blitz, well, we gotta go to the hook rat for that. These others are a little bit lost on me. Blitz, you know, we gotta find the reindeer. Dance to the ballroom, Blitz. Okay.
So, but can someone explain to me what send more pass rushes than usual? Like, what does that have to do with cricket?
I think that's a football one, but not the soccer as we call it here. No, football.
So that there's so many players in that game. What is it? There's no passing. You're passing by kicking a ball. Oh, you're talking American football. Okay.
Yeah, American football. It's a blitz. It's a type of move. Right.
Okay. Sure. All right. But so I guess enough jokes for now. So we've got a Young start, which is, I guess, not great. You rather have someone with more power. Young starts off very weak, especially if he starts with, I don't know, a Charm Claw or something, but you know.
Hey, you give him a Charm Claw, maybe a Power Shirt and a Rune Ring, you can take out that Mad Ogre's chest.
That's true.
There.
That's true. The Charm Claw does, in fact, deal inflict the racial weakness to giants. It also has awful accuracy, and plus 3 agility, but you can use it for that. But in terms of the actual objectives we have to return the pants to Yang's wife, trade away the rat tail, complete Tower of Zot, complete Sealed Cave, destroy the super cannon, defeat the Queen of Tower of Monsters, and Mirror Summit also. So that's, by my count, 7 key items we need.
Yeah, that's quite a bit, and you know we're gonna be starting off here. Let's see what our second character is gonna be, and that's patently average, a Kane, not a bad. Start with the Mura. Well, I mean, biggest thing I caught out of that starting kit was the Hourglass 2.
Yeah, sure. Hourglass 2 would be pretty helpful. Like if we're able to find an early, I know, like armor, early Zeus Gauntlet, we might actually early, I guess, giant killing gear. We might actually have the opportunity to just flat out take out the Mad Ogre just Evan very quickly.
Even then, just like a Mutinite for Kane would be just fine. We just jump on him.
That's true. We could do that as well. But also getting the mirror summit as our starting key item means we might we're kind of hoping we find an edge sooner rather than later, and that will also help us push through early game very quickly.
Oh yeah, early edge with the Murasame. All you need is like a secondary weapon. Even something like a short sword would do just fine. That Mura would carry you through the early game.
What about Charm Claw?
Yeah, well, so it technically counts. It does do extra damage. It puts them on a two-handed damage calculation. So, better giving us a sand rupee.
Well, we're gonna check that as soon as we can, because of the flag sets, our restricted. That is a key item that gets us a character. Gives us opportunity to get either a Cecil or a Fu, and getting one of those characters early is such a huge increase of power.
Yeah, so you see a bit of a divergence here. We got Cubs going over to the public treasury. Some runners do this. Finds a Thunderclaw, a Light Sword, and a Sylph Summon. That's pretty good for money wise.
Also just getting the Light Sword is probably a big bonus anyway, because at least with the Sand Ruby, that probably means you want to process checking the Sand Ruby character immediately, because you now have a decent enough weapon for Cecil once you get up ordeals.
Yeah, the problem is getting up ordeals. You know, maybe find some vampires or some extra J items, because this party with the current gear we have is not going to be easily getting up ordeals. There's the white shirt.
Yes, I'm sure white shirt's also pretty good for once we find a white mage or or a mage to be able to wear it.
Hey, Kane can be our anchor now. We found a drain sphere. Yes.
I mean, Kane is in fact very fast, and hey, we also found an anchor in Edward.
Well, he's like, here, I'll give you this. Go get my brother from the other bed.
I mean, look. Honestly, picking up a third character right now is also pretty good. Also, if you're able to find the spoon early on, that's also a way through the early game and to mid game.
Or through the end game if you find one of those adamant armors, because adamant spoonward is amazing.
It's true, adamant.
And Sorbs found all 3 trap chests, so the rest of Evelyn is completely free to him.
And I guess the reason you probably want to he's looting trying to full clear Evelyn is because we're really looking for a good, basically a good weapon for Kane. Like, I don't think we've actually had a chance to see what we found so far. Like we found a dancing dagger, which is probably I see, but like not quite what we're hoping to get there, I would imagine.
We got a flame spear as well. Cubs found a flame sword in the public treasury, so decent around either way. We'll see what the rest of Evelyn has. We're hoping for like power shirts or defense sword. Stardust rod's pretty good, but we need a black mage for that.
Ooh, you also found a rune axe, which is also very good because that makes Kane a lot more viable. We just put him in the middle slot and just start doing a whole bunch of jumps. Hey, Charcoal!
Yes! Man, we've got
this rune axe... Yeah. And also we have
the guards. Rune axe to be doing some work here.
It is, yeah. So because as you can obviously tell, these guards are clear mages, obviously.
Well, I mean, they do cast Size and Piggy, so I mean, they've got to be mages, right?
It's true.
Sorb's going, no, I don't want the Edward.
And again, you don't know. It's not a bad choice either way. Like, Sorbs actually has, with the gear he has found, actually probably has the power, so it's not actually as important for him to actually get a third character at this point in time.
Oh, doing the back of Watery Pass after doing Evelyn. Generally, runners only do one or the other, but I'm thinking with the loot we got out of Evelyn, maybe wants to pick up just a little bit more to beef up this party. Black belt definitely doing that.
Yeah, I think the black belt is a huge pickup here. Just getting more strength, more multipliers on these attacks. It's just going to do a whole bunch of wonders there. Meanwhile, Cubs is through that fight. Probably used a lot more resources than you'd like. He had to end up using a kamikaze on the last guy just to make sure he got through, but we're still through, so that's all that counts.
I mean, if you use I missed if you used kamikaze with Sid, but if you use it with Sid, I mean, it doesn't matter what size you are. You can be a tiny little explosion that does a lot of damage. And
that's true.
Maybe using Sid as an anchor, not getting the experience throughout the fight is just fine, because Sid starts with a decent HP pool for the early game.
I mean, yeah, true. It's just so early. Like, I think it's one of those things where it's, getting a bit more XP doesn't really matter either way. You'll take whatever you can get, really. It's going to be more relevant once you get to, I don't know, levels 30s or 40s, where you want to make sure you stay slow where that might matter.
The black belt going on Yang, so Yang's gonna be doing a couple hundred damage.
Well, we don't need to do that much because we only need to do 3 hits in this fight. Yep. This is Water Hag. The script is such that you only have to land any sort of damage 3 times, and then Water Hag will go away. Don't really want to see this here. This is one of the easiest spots, so you probably would like to see this at a tougher spot. But we also get the check our way quickly.
Oh, what some people may not realize is even things like using the Lilith Rod as an item to cast Psych actually counts as a damage tick.
You are in fact damaging the MP. It's MP, so yeah.
And it counts. And Luca Key.
Well, that's required. That's on one plus side. That's required because we do need to complete the Seal Cave.
Yeah.
But
so
we still need to find a way underground. So
I mean, at least we didn't fade Antlion, and fading it hasn't bitten us. So
it's true. And for Shipossum, we have yet to see Wyvern, but no. So the possibility of Wyvern at Seal Cave is still live.
Yeah, the only ones we've seen are guards and water hags. So not too much.
We've also seen a Ruby Sprite at a Ruby Sprite who gave us the key item. So that's also where, if our runners actually remember that could be, they might factor that into their plans when they go take their fight on.
It could be Ruby or Elements. They both show up the same way.
It's true, but you can still, but you can at least set up for that, hedge either way.
Right. Cubs going over Sorbius' footsteps of going in and looting Evelyn here. Will Cubs utilize the hourglass of one of these fights to get through it and get a little bit of experience and maybe a decent item? We'll see here.
Yeah, we are going for it, looks like.
I mean, this is probably one of the harder fights to actually get through just because there are 5 enemies. But I mean, if you can get through this...
That was lucky. That was way closer than he'd have liked, I think.
Yeah. Feeling up Sid to get more damage on the firebomb, which is...
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
No, yeah. Or because the reason I say it was lucky is because there was a chance that Kane might have died there from all the punches, and if that happened, that would have been a reset. He has no way of actually getting through that otherwise.
Oh right, is you'd lose your hourglass too at that point because it's already queued up.
That's correct. But
now it's just a matter of punching down this Staleman.
And we're through. Alright, let's see if Cubs is rewarded with this gamble.
I mean, okay, Xcal, I mean, not mad about that.
True, but I think at this point you'd rather have hit than Adamant armor.
Right. It's still a functionally useful item.
Yes. For later. It's though. Once we are able to get through ordeals and maybe find a Cecil, then Cecil we can have the guy up and running pretty quickly.
Yeah, it looks like Cubs took the Flame Spear, decided not to loot the rest of it going, nah, I'm good. I think I may have spent too much time on that Staleman chest and then decided to do other things.
Ooh. Interesting bit of divergence here. Cubs actually doing the Baron in check, whereas Sorbs is actually just playing the football defense. So,
I mean, doing the football defense here, you get a free heal. All your parties get back to their regular size and all their health back. So,
but we could spend $50 to get a full heal. Heal at Baron.
Yeah, $50
every night.
Every night. And we've got Dr. Dialogue.
On one hand, this is actually a fun, interesting fight.
Well, there's our ninja.
Ooh, if Cubs is able to get through this fight quickly, this is a huge advantage. Because now we actually get to probably punt this young, make use of the fact that we now have a Murasame ninja going and just clean up overboard that quickly.
I think on Cubs side I'd probably ditch the Edward since we don't have the spoon, and that's who I would get rid of because Ed is good, but if you don't find things like the spoon or anything like an arty bow, the power that he has just drops off really quickly.
Mike. Yep, that's also a reasonable thing. My suspicion of punting Young is that Edward can still hasn't got any XP yet, so can function as an anchor.
It's just as fine as an anchor with the experience we've gotten on him.
True. We just need to find a bit of gear to help facilitate that. Whereas just keeping Edward on the ground would help make things a bit quicker in that spot. Mind you, having said that though, I just noticed that Cubs actually did give Edward some amount of hit points now that he has 110.
Yeah,
so that might
get the experience.
That might actually wreck him as a effective anchor.
Yeah, because he gains agility quite quickly.
Please hold while I actually look at the chart. So level 10. That's 12 agility. Yeah, he is no longer a functional anchor. So yeah, in that case that makes sense.
Yeah, the way I always remember is that Edward actually gains agility just as fast as Cecil does.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
so we got Magma Key for doing the full defense. So, and I guess Sorbs is just checking this on the way down. To
yeah, and sees the edge and is going, "Thank you, I've got some extra power now."
Yes, I mean the only one was a lit bolt, but the actual Edward is actually giving us, well, for Sorbs, his fourth character, which was an edge.
Right, because you didn't pick up the Edward, but I mean, a lit bolt could be still good, can still be used for like Thunderstruck. So
yeah, that's also true. We have access to a cane. We can do a whole bunch of jumps. If it comes up, that'll be amazing.
And whenever we see Thunderstruck.
Meanwhile, we see Cubs is climbing ordeals. He has every incentive to do this because he has an Excalibur, so he figures he's going to have to do this anyway. It could be our way underground, so may as well.
Yeah, the thing is maybe in brackets we don't see this as often going up ordeals because in brackets, Cecil and Fu are no longer in the pool.
Yeah.
The only reason to go up here would be to get Tella online.
That's true. Meanwhile, we have a bit of vanilla here. This is Marlon and friends at this vanilla location, so
I mean, I'm always
should be pretty straightforward fight.
And Cubs is through. Let's see if Cubs decides to go directly under Magma Key, or will he end up doing ordeals? I have a feeling he's going to go straight underground because he has no incentive to do ordeals right now.
I agree. Like, he hasn't found a shiny sword yet. He doesn't know if Cecil actually is available at this point in time. So, he might choose to do it later, but no, we can just go underground right now. Let's just find out at the very least, get an idea of who's at the Queen of Town monsters, because that is our objective.
Right, and maybe depending on the boss that's there, we might be able to take it out of it. Something like the guards. We've got a back attack Vow.
Well, the good news on Cub's point of view. Well, actually, two bits of good news. One, he knows that this can't be his way underground, so he has to go up. His next step will be to go straight to Ball, because he knows that's his intended way underground. Good news number two, he has basically two very good ways to get through this Valvalis. One is the fact he has a cane, and two has edge to dark things. So
can't forget about Yong's kick. That pierces it too.
Yes, for like 10 damage.
Hey, it gets you through the fight. We weren't talking about speed here. We were just talking about getting through the fight itself.
I mean, you've got me. I mean, I have totally not attempted to Tella Young Dark Knight Cecil back attack Bell once at all. Never done that.
At least you had a Dark Knight Cecil because Darkwave gets through it as well.
True. I think I only ended up being 400 hit points short from killing. That was really annoying. but no, Cubs is through. We're going to swag it all the way into the no save. Just go see what going ordeals will reward us with.
Yeah, if it's the hug, I think Cubs at least goes down and checks the character in the shops, even though he knows it's not his logical progression underground.
Is this
More
even?
vanilla. Really even?
Is this even?
Hey, we heard you like some vanilla, so we stuck the Legend Sword in the crystal room. Oh, wait, there's more. Here's a Dark Knight Cecil for you too.
Okay. Meanwhile, Sorbs is doing Dwarf Castle, rewarded by finding King Queen Evelyn in the first spot, so should not have any issues doing the second spot at all. Only 3,000 hit points there. We have the party that can do that, so yeah. This early Dwarf Castle play is very bold. It's a gamble that's going to pay off.
Right, with the character check. But speaking of the vanilla, it's like how I'm the Tybalt, the gambler. Should this be S. Grunt Hayes? Good old Billy Mays here.
I don't get it.
Oh, infomercial Hearst would do stuff. It's like, here we heard you like this, but wait, there's more.
Oh, so you have to kind of explain these American things to me because not American. But
Let's see who we get here for a character for Sorbius' side. I mean, gets the Cecil, I think goes straight up ordeals and maybe goes back to Evelyn for a shiny sword. With Evil Wall and more vanilla?
Yes, Grunt. Did you actually randomize anything in this? I mean, come on. I am. Next thing you'll say is it's going to be like, I don't know, it's going to be Vanilla Asura at the Queen's Tower, at the Tower Monsters, and we're going to be extraordinarily upset.
And Dimps at the Super Cannon room. Well, we're at it. Might as well stick Fu on the moon.
I mean, yeah, we could do that too. Yeah.
We can't get the Luga key from here because we already have that, so a little sad there.
But yeah, Sorbs is through. Cubs is about to get his Magma key. We're going to a bit of quiet as we see a black gauntlet pick up a crystal of some sort.
All right, well, 19, and we get drum roll.
Ooh, the tower key. I mean, that's objectives. That's very good. So yeah. we need that to destroy the super cannon. So it's still a key ring at least. So it's in sense of like
spoilers. At least this time when we destroy the super cannon, we get to keep Yang.
What if I don't want to keep Yang?
Look, I can't help that.
I mean, it might just mean I have to go to the Tower Cell, which is to get any other character, really.
Are you really gonna grab the Edward that's there right now, or Rydia?
If I need an anchor, that 4-hit agility anchor sounds great.
28 sounds fine to me.
Yeah, that's also reasonable. But like, getting to 20, it's a lot of effort. That just requires trying to find like agility, make sure you're at the right levels and whatnot. Or you could just leave Rydia dead.
Well, yeah, you can either, or you can just have Yang just level up constantly, and you get him up to that 50, 52, and you're at 28 agility. Perfect. And he can also help out in the Z fight too by either A, being a chemist, or B, doing some extra damage.
I mean, that's also true. we could do this. These are options that are available to us.
Yeah, we got Thorbs going down the Feymarch, gonna check the Feymarch freebie and the bosses here.
Alternatively, I guess if you're going to go to that deep, we can make it make it sure that he doesn't get as high level by giving him a Charm Claw.
This is true. You get the extra 3 agility, and then you switch it in battle and switch over to good old. Well, at this point, we've got our gun access. Let's just look for a Cat Claw. Does the same thing,
Also,
just better. And we hit everybody's favorite boss, the inventory boss.
yeah, interesting that Cubs Cubs is also priority of doing dwarf customers. At least that is a character check. He has a shiny sword. He has gone off ordeals, so has every intention to do this.
Yeah, definitely. One wants to prioritize the character checks to get that soul, get him soon to utilize that X-Scale, utilize the time that was spent in Eblin.
And not just that, but also ordeals.
Right.
Oh, we just sold the Charm Claw. What a
And
shame.
much sadness was had. It's not even worth that much either.
Look, if it's taking up inventory space, it's got to eat. Also, picking up the Moon Veil does make for some interesting choices here for just doing the Queen of Summon Monster spot. Depending on what it is, we could just do that right now. It will be slow, because I don't think we found any Bark Swine for sale at all at this point, but it would be doable.
Right, I mean, consider what we have. I mean, let's see, we stick, what? Mylon Z at Azura spot, Moonveil, fine. We stick Azura, Moonveil, fine. Because Moonveil, Starveil, and we wouldn't take any hits, and we have the Rune Axe.
True. I'd just say it would be slow because we have no source of Berserk, so this...
Alternatively, it could be a good old Wyvern there, and that's a high magic spot.
Huh. That is the... I'm gonna need to check this, aren't I? I need to... Or
just dip out.
Yeah.
I mean, I would check it. To be honest, I would check it. If it's Plague, it's free. If it's D-Lunars, it's free. Ogopogo, we don't have the curatives to get through it. Pale Dim, again, don't have the curatives.
Oh, but if it's Pale Dim specifically, we probably can get through that because we do have a Moon Veil, and we also have a whole bunch of Dragoon Gear on Kane, so it would be slow, but we could do it.
The problem is that the gear that we have for Kane for weaponry is all elemental, so he would take reduced damage.
Yeah. Again, that is on the spot. That's the power of the Moon Veil. We could just probably have Edge put on Edge and just have them just go attack for about 20 times and be done with it.
Or
yeah, also
things.
Yeah, but at the very least, I would have at least had a look just to know what I'm dealing with. Because you're right. If it's cheesable in any fashion, I want to know that now. Meanwhile, Cubs takes the Rydia. Interesting.
Takes Rydia over Sid for possibly an anchor. I mean, if he had, I think he sold the Sylph, so it doesn't have that as an option for healing. Just gonna bop her down. Yep. That's an anchor. We have our floor inspector.
Look, floor inspecting is a very important job. Okay, like sometimes you never know. Sometimes it could be made of lava. There could be traps all over the place. There could be spikes. There could be a door, a pit that could, because you step through a pitfall of some sort. Could be multiple of things.
Yeah, definitely gotta be aware of that. Let's see what's at the top of tower here. Another Sparkle, and there's the Kaipo guards. Hate to see it on the hunker out there. It's a free boss out of the pool.
That's true. Yeah, definitely hate to see this. But this is also interesting to see which Lunar Sparkle this is, because how you react really changes things. Okay, so Pale Dim.
Yes, it's not Pale Dim down there at Azura. A lot of health, but I mean, it's gonna take a little bit to get through this.
Oh, yeah, this will be fine.
Sorbs' inventory is full.
That's okay. That's what Darting Ninja stars are for.
Right, gonna free up because wanted to take the Thunderclaw off to, because right now Pale Dem's taking half damage from Yang. Being the Pale Dem's really strong against all elementals and absorbs them if you cast them.
Yeah.
And sends them right back. So don't cast spells on Pale Dem. It's a bad idea.
Oh, definitely
don't.
Virus.
Yeah, virus. Okay, non-elemental spells are okay. Just don't use summons either.
Look, you need to be more specific with these kind of things. You can't give our audience, the wrong impression on things. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Nuke and virus are an exception.
What about Quake?
Fine. Quake can be an exception too.
What about Drain?
Yeah, God. Drain. We never see Drain being cast because it takes so long to cast. It does like no damage.
Look, any port in a storm, okay? If I have a Fusoya that has Drain at our turns early on, and I don't have anything else.
So what about Meteor? Meteor and White on Pale Dim are okay. Just don't use them on Demist or Dark Elf. They absorb those because Meteor is holy damage. Chocobo is a summon, so that would be countered.
Ooh, okay. Sorb's using the Moonveil now. I guess, given that it's just taking a whole bunch of damage. But also this is because you're right. This is part of the struggle here is because Kane does in fact have the Flame Sphere equipped, so it's actually causing a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, I would have looked at the shop in Dwarf had, I believe it was in Dwarf, had a Gungnir spear for sale. I would have picked that up just to have a non-elemental attack and a bit better of a spear for Kane, since I haven't found anything better. Granted, it's a huge amount of money to spend, but I mean, in a lot of these seeds, we've got things to sell, and it all sells for full value.
Sure.
What better does he have? He's a dancing dagger. Give me a lot of health to chew through.
I suspect the other thing is that, off memory, Kane has two sorts of Dragoon armor, and it's all on Kane. If he split that up, this would be he wouldn't have had to have used it, because that way we'd have two characters with Dragoon resistance, Dragon resistance, as opposed to one. Ooh,
Cubs picking up a crystal ring here in a free chest on the way out.
You know what else? You know what else gives you Dragon resistance?
Tiara?
Well,
crystal ring too.
Well, crystal ring too. Yeah, crystal ring is the big one. So that it's possible that Cubs might actually, if he spends the time to equip it, might actually pull up ahead just on this fight alone. But he's just going to do the
Double check it on Hells. Don't want that mysterious Ogopogo to come out of nowhere and take you out.
Well, you love to see that as a runner. You love to see Kenatsu here. Only has like a couple 100 hit points. In fact, there you go. We're not even going to see a wave. Not even need to scare him away by casting lightning. It's just done.
Yeah,
but with that is going to be our first objective. Objective number 6 on Cubsrule side of the field, destroying the super cannon.
Yeah, to mention it in chat, to Rybon, yes, Tiara does give dragon resistance and lightning resistance.
Yeah, very important, in fact.
There's a lot of equipment out there that gives resistances that are either not mentioned in the description or you wouldn't even think about.
And Sorbs is
darkness.
Well, at least that was worth worth doing, because that's an objective. But it definitely does not feel that good to have taken that long to get through that fight, and especially burning your moon veil on this fight just to get through it quicker.
No, I was
It's also
feeling
pretty-
for. Go ahead.
I would say it's also it's also probably boils down to the choice of who to take as our anchor, like because Sorbs opted to choose Sid. Sid is the character that has the Rune Axe equipped, I believe. So he's as he figures like Rune Axe and I guess a spear of some sort is sufficient enough to do damage. Whereas Cubs doesn't have that choice, has that choice because he got rid of Sid.
Yeah, and even like Edge with that crystal ring still takes a couple hundred damage here in the front row.
And Kane took 1.
Yeah. Well, Kane's in the back row
That's
with dragon
true.
armor. So
Oh, we have 4 Drain Spears? Oh my god. What a monster.
I think Cubs may have actually bought some,
I know. Yes, he did. I'm pretty sure he did.
which is definitely a worthwhile thing to think about. And I know in this recent patch they upped the price. They used to be a lot cheaper. But I mean, the Drain Spears being such a good dart in general, as we see on Cubs side, just doing 2,400 damage a round, which is gonna make this fight go so much faster. Like, just start everything, including the kitchen sink. Free the inventory.
Maybe not the Excalibur.
Yeah, definitely want to keep that for right now.
Yeah.
Unless you haven't found your Cecil yet, you've got your party. At that point, you're just like, okay, I want to get through this fight.
Oh, music from the destroying the super cannon. So that does lead some interesting choices. Actually, I think we might actually just see the classic set up Sheila 1, then do music afterwards.
I'd actually hear me out. I would think Sorbius would probably do this: go up, do the whale to get the character check, then go to Sheila 1, then do Twin Heart.
Yeah, that
we have no exit caster right now, so maybe there's a Fu or a Tell up there for an exit caster, or a Cecil.
Sure.
Cecil
That's
also
fair.
gets exit. So I mean, getting the character checks are a bit of a thing right now because we have all the deeps, we just have no healing.
Yeah, that's fair. So Sorb's found the centipede chest in the thing and is going to go for it. Only gets a Murasame, so not quite the reward he was looking for there, but it was still a quick enough check to go for.
Yeah, it looks like Cubs did get through that Palladium about 2.5 minutes faster, so making up the time. I mean, it hasn't been that far behind. The only thing Cubs has done different is getting Bedward, or getting Bedward, because there's Edward and Tander. But I mean,
well, we also know that Cubs is also up going up all deals.
right.
So that's which is not nothing. Like if the character on the moon is in fact our boy Cecil, then that's going to mean that Sorb's going to give that time back if he goes up and raises the whale and checks that character.
Yep, the Cubs raising the whale.
Oh right. Also, Cubs hasn't checked Fey March, so that's also. So he might actually, depending on what his options are, he might opt into checking this, making this what's it called, that Lunar Sparkle check out the Queen of Town of Monsters.
I mean, it is perfectly anchored for it, so I mean,
yeah,
because that is a quite fast spot.
It would just be a problem, as we discussed. It would just be a problem if it's, oddly enough, I would say Plague is actually a problem. Here, more because
no, it's
because
not.
we don't. Well, we only have one Zerk. We only have one Barkus one, I believe. So, trying to
Okay, so here's the thing: if you have 3 RA1 people, you have one Bacchus one. You use your Bacchus and then just hold A. Using 2 Bacchus, you don't have to hold A. We also found a full moon to back row our edge here. So yes, we only have 1 Bacchus wine, but we just use the Bacchus and hold A, still get through the fight.
That's fair. That's a fair enough point. In which case, there's no point actually healing up, probably.
No,
Coffins.
there isn't. Buys 10 of them. Wow. Sorb's feeling really rich here.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Like if there's only one gated shop you haven't checked, that's probably the one you probably want to save for Bacchus one if they're available at all.
We have an edge. They're always available. Just steal them from that ogres.
We can, yes. But kind of a bit slow though.
We actually don't know what Ashura is there as the Ashura spot.
Hey,
speculating.
So about my comment about if Cecil is on the moon, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nope doodle.
Yeah, no, we're not doing. We do not have anything to be able to accomplish that goal at all. There's no way. So we'll be coming back later, probably when we have, I don't know, a white mage more than anything.
Wait. Cubs is going back in? What? It's not gonna do anything here. The waves are gonna hit regardless.
But it does do something with the punches, which maybe like if
I mean, this is a gutsy.
This is a
move.
play. This is a play. This is a. So far we've gone pretty lucky. In that all the punches so far have tried to hit edge. So it looks like we're just going to try and do this with the power of chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, okay, Kane's a good chemist. Wish we had something better than Cure 2s, but I mean,
we have an elixir.
We have one elixir.
Yeah, I think it's still gonna be tough. So you need to use that elixir on Kane right now, or we can jump.
Jump the wave. That's a good option.
Or we could just have him get hit. Okay, so this is the double first. So we might actually. So double should actually. It rounds down, so it should be 634. Yeah. So then the next wave should do 317. So yeah, so he has to get through enough. We might have enough. It'd be really close.
I mean, Edge is getting 2 swings in a round, so I mean,
yeah. Because there'll be a they'll go single wave and then punch, and then the double. So that's a time limit here.
Yeah, we're at a time limit. Here comes the single wave. Give another. And we're through.
We're through. Wow. Well played, Cubs.
Well played. Wow. And all that for a rivet, but another objective done.
Yeah. You've got that objective, and you don't have to come back here ever again. That is a very good use of Moonbow right there.
Oh yeah.
No, I approve of that. Are we? Okay, I think we're just going to. Oh, we are going to. Just look at the shop, I guess. I thought.
Not enough gold to stay at the Marriott.
Look, the Marriott is a very expensive place, right? You have to, you have bedside service. You have an amazing continental breakfast available to you. You also it's got a pool and a gym that you can stay at. Just look, you get what you're paying for if you stay at the Marriott.
Don't forget about the natural hot tub. I mean,
yeah, it's true, right? Who doesn't want these things?
Getting blocked by NPCs that's telling us about whips. Well, I mean, this is the Blitz Whip group.
It's true. Well, no, clearly intentional. Not at all memeing.
Ooh, going down the sealed cave now.
Well, again, this makes sense. This is an objective, so while you're here, may as well at least have a shot at it.
Right. But Sorb's gonna be getting his Cecil here online shortly. Probably will end up going straight to Evelyn, get some levels in that Cecil, find the X-Cal, and maybe do the rest of it. Maybe find a crystal sword, or maybe an adamant.
I mean, yeah, I feel like at this point, if you're going to make that play of trying to spike a shiny thing, the actual play is probably, is probably the hairdryer chest. It's the easiest check you've got available to you. Because you kind of have to assume that your opponent, you might at this point at the 43-minute mark, your opponent probably has done that already. So if you want to find a racing advantage, it might be a good thing to just go somewhere you don't think your opponent's gone.
But also, hear me out on this. We still have the hook route to check for possible Bacchus. We go to Eblin, we take out the Mad Ogre's chest, and as we're killing the ogres, we're stealing some Bacchus.
Yeah, that's also a reasonable play you can do.
Because they're not always guaranteed in the seed. Like we've just got Evelyn with 2 tier 5s sitting in there, so may not. You know how Sorbs is trying to equip to Cecil in battle, and we have Bahamut.
Not quite what you want to see here. Although we might be at the point where our white mage is in fact Asura, which works every time 2/3 of the time.
Oh!
Well, on one hand,
oh, you love to see it. This is by far one of the worst gauntlets out there. The only one that tops this one is the Masamune altar.
but we do get to see Vamp Lady in all her regalia,
Yeah.
as opposed to Vamp Girl, which is just a reskin, but you know.
And welcome everybody from the Free Enterprise Raid. We have a race for first place here in the Blitz Whip group between Sorbius and Cubsrule21. And it's quite spicy. As you can see on Cubs side, we have an alt gauntlet at Luca, which is required.
Actually, the problem here might actually be the lack of healing, because we might actually wipe this because we only had. I think Cubs will use all his block curatives for dealing with our objective Ogo Pogo at the Queen spot with a Bacchus one, a Moonveil, and a Dream.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a problem, but I mean, the ones that you really have to worry about are the Manticores as they do the blaze.
Yeah. But I guess in that space we have to go in gear on Kane, so you will only take limited amount of damage there, at least.
Look, Alt Gauntlet at the harp is great. You get to hear the music over and over and over again.
Look, who doesn't like hearing music?
Right? You just hate it when it's like Golbez or Dr. Luge or the dolls, because the music changes.
Yeah, because they are rude.
And Sorb's opting not to steal any Bacchus here from these Mad Ogres while he's taking them out.
It might just be, it might just have occurred to solve that this is an efficient play to do. Which is fair enough, like, in that case. Oh, I mean, they cast it too?
Okay. I learned something today. I mean, I know that the skeletons from the Snailman skeleton chest, if it's just the skeletons out there, they cast Lit 2 as well. And we're seeing the accuracy of the Rune X coming out to play here, as Cecil has missed a few times.
I think, but Cubs is through. We've managed to do that without that much healing, so yeah. We have our Bahamut, we have no weights, we are taking the walk out of Sealed Cave because we don't give levels to Rydia, so she can't walk out. And I missed what Sorb's got for that.
Same here, I missed it as well. He went by so quick because these runners are so good. Be sure to follow both these runners as they're putting on a show for you.
I think given that, oh no, we're still continuing, so kind of in that, probably not good. So he's probably going to hit this, okay, Bahamut, okay. Thank you, chat. So I believe this is where Cubs got his Excalibur. So
yes, the Excalibur's here. You just have to be worried about being put to sleep by that Stalemate.
So it's actually gonna be so now we're not interesting spot because on one hand, Cubs is going to eventually get to set. We'll have his Cecil online in a moment probably, but Sorbs is down to two objectives. He still needs to go down to Sealed Cave and fight that Orc Corner. Still needs to find fights Ogo Pogo at the Queen of Sun Monsters spot. So there's interesting options that are left available for our runners here. Yeah, Luca Reward was a Zog. It was just a Bahamut.
Orb's almost wiping to that Staleman skeleton chest. Gets the Excal. Will he go back in for the last trap chest? No.
No.
Figures I've got the best thing I can get from here. Now, what would really hurt is if there was an Adamant sitting in there in that Black Cat Lemia chest. Oh, that would hurt so much.
It would hurt, but realistically speaking, like you've probably done looting all the stuff anyway, and Sorb's going to doing something what the fans love to hear. Well, most fans anyway.
Yeah, giving us a good old music here. I mean, only got one party member up, and it's going to be magnetized anyways. So
it's true. It's the best you're gonna have for best timing for it. No, apart from what Cubs are probably about to do.
Right, going to check Shield 1.
Did Sorbs do that?
No, he raised the whale, grabbed the Cecil, went up Ordeals, went straight to Eblin. Ooh, found a Dwarf Axe.
Well, that's something of consequence at least, so not going to be punished for forgetting that, because we just got a bit of ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, hey, great ice cream at that.
Now I'm hungry. I want ice cream. I ran out of ice cream in the house.
Look, we've had at least 3 things of vanilla. Sheila had to give us some form of ice cream, so I'm betting it's a vanilla blizzard, okay?
Okay, you got me. So the interesting thing here is that apart from that Dark Elf, we're actually out of other checks for Cubs.
Yeah.
Except for Twin Harp. So, but I'd say there's probably a good chance that this Twin Harp is going to have something decent at least.
Oh, definitely. And this is the time where, you know, Edward walks to the harp. We continue to talk throughout the rest of this, and we talk over music, right?
Well, what do you want to talk about in that case? I'm up to talk about cricket if you're up to talk about cricket.
I mean, I always want to learn about sports.
Yeah, okay, great. So, no, fine, we'll give music, okay.
I mean, we were talking about Run earlier. I mean, I guess to say the motorcycle music works.
Huh. So I guess that's kind of worth the effort because that was a pass. That means that we can head back on the. That probably isn't worth the time you invest in getting it, but like.
Oh, and Cecil doesn't have enough to actually.
Yeah, I guess without Exodus
yet.
makes it. I guess without Exodus makes this like kind of awkward then.
You know, doing the Black Cat Lady just would have given Cecil enough experience to have him have exit by now.
Probably, yeah, or Siren for that matter.
Yeah, or being alive during the Staleman skeleton chest.
Yeah. Oh, Cubs is also about to do the hairdryer chest, which I suggested earlier.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't have an hourglass, but definitely worth the experience here. With the base level Cecil, gonna get him online real quick.
No, I haven't opened this chest to win a race before. No. I know what you're talking about.
Never. Yeah, find a soak web and some illusions. I mean, don't have a blink caster. I mean, why not just go power overwhelm me and
okay,
Cubs?
so that was an implication of Rita getting punched by one of the hair dryers when Kane got queued up an attack on Rydia. So had to go somewhere else, and unfortunately went hit the Cecil.
Yeah, at this point we're just gonna wait until we're down to just one hair dryer left before we revive that Cecil.
Yeah. And as long as Cecil gets experience here, that's the main thing. But one of the interesting things I think I'm finding for this season is that we haven't actually found a white mage, anyone who can cast any white magic at all, except for Cecil. And if Cecil is our white mage, we've made some choices. Let's just say.
Look, you give him a white shirt, a crystal sword. That's plus 30 willpower right there. Your twos can do quite a bit.
True.
Single target. Don't want to party. Tier 2. It's fine.
But we are through the hairdryer chest. We're going to get a stack of hit point, XP, a whole bunch of levels on Cecil. Probably get exit from this, I believe.
We up to 20, so yeah,
we
get exit. And a crystal sword. Well,
I mean, I suppose if you insist, game, like I suppose we can do this.
So about that Dark Elf.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, with the X scale, Dark Elf was going to be not a problem anyway. Because Excalibur is also holy, but now it's super not.
Let's put it this way. Okay, so X-Scale cuts through Dark Elf like a knife through butter. Crystal is hot knife through butter.
I mean, yes, like hot knives in fact better for cutting through butter than a cold knife, I guess. You know, Cubs might actually just be deciding to dive right now. He's fading Twin Harp, and he's also faded that Dark Elf. So,
and it hasn't found much for key items in general sense, so we know this moon is either A, gonna gate something that creates a long chain, or there's a lot of items up here.
Yeah, you're right, because like we also need to do Murasame also, so I guess the other thing is, we may as well check what we've got here. You never know, it could be super valuable at the very least. Yeah,
so I mean, we'll see what's here. I mean, making sure we got ribbons on people to survive a Golbez, since Golbez is still out there.
True. Meanwhile, Sol's about to get the interesting news that this is a gauntlet here. Well, do we still have the Rune Axe?
I think so. But these are still gonna hurt for the casts here. I mean, hey, you went on Rydia, cool. We got one free turn. And it does not look like we have the Rune Axe anymore. I think it got sold on Cubs' side. Or no, Cubs never found the Rune Axe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Rune Axe was been a part of Evelyn that Cubs did not loot. Cubs went into the skeleton chest, got the flame spear, and left. And I think the Rune Axe is on the right side.
Okay. In that case, that makes a bit more sense then. Although, I will say this fight, it still kind of stings. Because, yeah, we have no Barker Wine or Waste of Zerk. Meanwhile, Soldier is about to get his Crystal Sword. Look.
Finds the chest immediately. Still has the Hourglass, so this would be a lot safer on his side.
True.
But are we doing a sisters grind right now on Cubs' side?
Do we have? Ooh. Cecil going down is really awkward here.
I mean, Virus did 1100, so I mean, you really need to have, even Kane with a couple pieces of Dragoon armor still takes quite a decent chunk of his health with the elemental attack.
Yeah, this is where just not having the Barker Swine just would make this a lot easier, I think.
Well, I think not having any anti-mage gear.
That also
true. Like
true.
Mute Knife, Rune Axe. I think maybe has mute arrows, but only an archer bow. It's the only thing I can think of that would do a little bit. But we're getting through it.
Yeah, we're getting through.
Well, unless Edge gets charmed here and then just okay.
Nope.
We're safe.
But I think we're probably safe from it anyway, because I think because of all the reflected walls. Well, that helps. I've never seen that land. Wow.
What
that
flow?
Landed. The Berserk, the reflected Berserk on that landed on Kane. Wow. What? That's one way to get Berserk, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Looks like we're learning all sorts of things in this run.
Wow. But we're through. Cubs is through. Gets a Protect Ring. Oh my god.
But another objective done. 3 left to go.
Where are our key items?
I mean, let's take a look. How long of a chain could we have? Let's see. There could be just the Hook and Rat Tail up here. Rat Tail leads to Earth Crystal. Earth Crystal leads to Baron. Baron holds the Pan, and the Pan gives out the rest.
Yeah.
And Dark Elf has the package.
Yeah, that's... Or everything... Or, if we're going to be really rude, everything is behind that Dark Elf. Pan behind Dark Elf. Sylph Cave gives us Hook. Sheila 2 gives us Rat Tail. Rat Tail turn in gives us Earth Crystal. That's the other rude thing that could be.
Yeah. Is that there's too many terminal key items for there to be all behind one chain.
Well, then Earth Crystal gives, but then all the rest could be just on the moon. All the terminal key items could be on the moon. But wow, this is certainly something. This is definitely testing our runners here. As we know, we have so few key items available. We found 8 after having, apart from one check, having full cleared Earth. This does not feel good. We also have no White Mage. I'm not sure if have our spreaders actually found Cure Freeze or anything like that.
No, Cure 3s were an Agger. I think Cubs
Okay.
checked the item shop there. We know that Cure 3s are an Agger. Sorbs does not
Okay.
know this.
Okay, let me rephrase. Do we have a stack of Cure Freeze?
On Cubs' side, no.
Yeah. We are going. By the looks of it, we are actually going for White Mage Cecil here, which feels really bad.
Cubs is going straight down to the massive key item possibilities down here.
I mean, let's think about this. Let's think about this for a little bit, right? What do we have that's in terms of key items? What are we missing? No, instead of bosses, sorry. What root bosses are left? Yeah, Bargain's rude, yeah.
Orbs.
Orbs is... Yeah, actually, Orbs in this party is actually really rude, isn't it?
Golbez, but Golbez is free since we have
Yeah.
ribbons and crystal rings. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, we also have Crystal Sword Cecil, so like we have Crystal Sword Cecil and whatnot. So I think both set for Cubs, both Cecil and Also, I do like this actually. Taking a different fight, so and using that fight to also set up Golbez is also a smart thing you can do here. Oh, this is
all Cub did was re-equipped and stuck a ribbon on Edge.
All right.
So Cecil and Edge both have ribbons right now, and Cecil has a crystal ring on, so will not get paralyzed.
Well, yeah, Edge has it.
I was wrong.
Edge has it, but either way. Oh, I thought this was for the ribbon room. Sorry, my bad.
No, this is the plague spot, White Spear.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we want to possibly get 10 key items before doing the ribbon room. I mean, 100,000 experience is a big thing.
You just can't though. That's the problem. You just can't. Unless we did Crystal Sword Altar first, you just can't get to 10. So you just can't get to 10. Like unless you're going to go. Yeah, no, no matter what, you have to hit Crystal Sword Altar no matter what.
Yep, you're not going to hit 10 before you do crystals. Yeah.
So I think at that point you may as well have just done ribbon room first.
Look, as you can tell by the gambles I've done, I'm not that good at counting. I can't count cards, so.
That sounds like a you problem then. But no, Cubsrule is going to be through. We have a Cecil with the sword. All our party has a whole bunch of walls up. The spells don't do anything anyway, so it's just literally hold A at this point.
Yeah, it looks like Golbez really just does not like Edge.
It's okay, we protected him. That's fine.
Yeah, which is fine. We're like, okay. I guess Golbez does not want to hit his brother at all.
Yeah. So interesting point here is that Sorbs is basically caught up just by having the rune axe has actually made up a whole bunch of time here.
Yeah, but Cubs has done, you know, the Town of Monsters and the Sealed Cave.
Yes,
yeah,
true.
Because I think Sorbs saw that it was, you know, Gauntlet and left and didn't actually complete it.
Yeah. Well, good thing we're gonna get XP here anyway. And wow, Ninja Sword, really?
That feels bad.
Not even a tier 7 or tier 6, just a tier 5 Ninja Sword.
This Mom Bomb is going to be a nightmare. Don't have any hourglasses, and I don't know if the little bomblets, if you can coffin them. I think you can, because I know you can hourglass them.
I'm not sure either, actually. But like, it might be okay if it might be okay. The explosion might not do that much, and then you might have enough like
You got to be able to kill the bomblets quickly enough because those bomblets are going to have a lot of health.
That's what I was about to look up. Actually, I was about to look that up because I couldn't remember how much they had off the top of my head. So if you're ever not sure how much things have, one thing you can do is you can actually, if you go to the wiki, there's a whole bunch of useful things you can get, and one of them is the boss scaling. spreadsheet.
Let's put it this way: if at the ruby spot the gray bomblets will do 2,000 damage on an explosion, that spot only has 25k health. This one has 4,200 or 42,000. Yeah, I think those bomblets are going to be doing 3 to 4 for an explosion.
Okay, so gray bombs 3,360. The normal bombs are 1,680 at the ribbon room. So
yeah.
Still smarts a bit, but I guess if you have like, we might actually see the Blitz. Although there's also a good chance we might actually just see no explosion because
I don't know if we're going to push enough damage to get past the explosion as it's about to come out here.
All right, so Stardust probably does help a bit, probably. And then probably Blitz at that point, or like a guide drum. Yep, we just need to do any AOE. Any is good AOE because that'll help.
Well, 2 bomblets haven't taken much damage.
All right, we have to use flame because we haven't done the hook route. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Down goes Cecil.
Yeah, yeah, we need the hourglass in it, don't we? Okay. Or Berserk.
Wait, Sorbs has the coffins. That's the thing, is like if you can coffin them, this gets a lot easier to get through.
Yeah, and that's why.
Again, I don't know if you can coffin them. Change the battle speed here, get some more levels.
Yeah, try.
So it looks like one of our sages and admins in the Free Enterprise Discord, Cosmorph, is confirming that yes, you can coffin the bomblets.
Okay.
Hold A and pray as here comes out the explode. Did Cubs actually have a Bacchus left over?
No, he's just holding A and pray, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, there it goes. I was about to say, when I looked up, I didn't see Cecil's menu come up, so...
Yeah, it's... Although, we're not doing enough, we're not one-shotting enough things, and also, yeah, Cecil going down might mean this is not doable. Okay. Huh.
Yep, here comes up the explosion, and...
Yeah, that's good. That is gonna be a wipe there. This is such a weird seed of having literally no white mage trying to dive the moon.
Let's do it to that moon altar.
Yeah, that might, at the very least, give us a few more levels to try and go for this. This is probably a good idea.
I mean, let's see. What is Cubs gonna find down here? We're gonna find the orbs. We're gonna find Beigen. Everything at this spot hurts. Oh,
how about some Dark Imps?
Yeah, how about some free experience?
Although, they are quite punchy.
But Cecil's going to be covering here shortly, at least for Kane.
Yeah, sure.
Get some life glitches and...
Yeah, that's actually huge, actually. That, we get to coffin lead. Ow! Owl number 2. Huh.
Yeah, so long as Cecil can survive here, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Never mind.
What about that experience on Cecil? I guess Dims are like, no, you don't get it.
Where are our key items, Grunt? Where are they? Where'd you put them? What have you done?
All behind the Dark Elf?
What have these runners done to create this kind of ire?
I mean, we definitely wanted a battle for who's gonna win the Blitz Whip. This is a tried and true battle.
Yeah, interesting though that Cubs actually just completely reset out of that Dark Imps fight. Which is fair. Like you want probably want to save the coffins and the healing, I guess. But like, I don't know what's left that actually can be coffinable.
Sorbs reset out of the Ninja Sword from the White Spear.
Okay, so
Dark Elf,
just to catch you up,
Dark Elf is the Leviathan spot in the Fey March.
This is a free fight. This is a free fight.
Yeah, super free.
Or not? Yeah, we have. Let's see. We have like all the Dragoon gear. We basically get to have successful cover, and all Dragoon stuff. Yeah, as long as we remember to use the Star Veil, we're fine.
We only need like one Star Veil. This doesn't have this much health here, and Crystal Sword's going to be doing quad 9s because it's doing weird things as it does 16 times damage.
Yeah. But we can also just turn to frogs, and that's also reasonable.
Yeah. So we have some lunar frogs here. Sorbs gets through the dimps, gets the Zeus Gauntlet, decides to keep the experience.
Yeah.
Maybe seeing those coffins in his inventory again may spark an idea of thinking of using them on the bomblets.
Where are key items? I mean,
Adventure's nice.
Actually, no, Adventure's great though. Adventure is great though, at least. Because at least that's a way to Zerk. So that means Mom Bomb becomes... I don't think even see explosions now. We just get to Adventure Glitch, Crystal Sword Cecil, and we're done.
And so it looks like I was getting corrected in chat by Xenocat. They're undead but not weak to holy, so Crystal Sword only does 4x. It's Mylon Z that Crystal Sword does weird things too.
Yeah. I was trying to look up what actually is weak plus. I couldn't find much, to be honest. So I have to remember that try to look for next time.
Oh, we still have value as well. True. Sorb's going in for Mom Bomb round 2.
Yeah, but Cubs, by having that adventure, having cleared most of these things, is going to have has a huge lead at this point. Like Cubs still has to go back underground, complete the Seal Cave and between the Summon Monsters. Highly likely that Cubs is actually going to fade to half because he's left that on the table for so long, and only has the pass, so it's fine without it.
Yeah, and this Crystal Sword Avenger doing so much more damage.
Yes. Well, just being able to buffer the turns as opposed to just holding A and pray is just so much. It's going to do a whole bunch of help work here.
Yeah, it's a split XP fight, so you're not too worried about you're going to lose experience here anyways. Even if you had 10, you wouldn't get the full 100 to 200,000 experience. Yep.
And yeah, Mum Bomb's down. Didn't even get to the phase change to trigger the explode. Yeah, we are through. And for our troubles, we get a rat. Well, we do need that.
Yeah, but
where's our hook? God.
Oh.
What a scene is this? Like,
this S-Grunt, thank you for rolling this wonderful, wonderful seed. It has been amazing to watch, and I'm thankful I didn't have to do anything of this one. You know, answer chat, this could technically be go mode here, as if, this gives Rat Tail, this gives Hook here, and Rat Tail gives Pan, and then Pan turns into Earth Crystal.
Yeah, it's true. That's a possibility. But boy, would you not? This is such a wild seed. Like on the plus side, we're still at 9 key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 key items. On Cubsrule, having basically faded one spot on Earth, or 2 spots on Earth that were available to us.
And it's just Octobomb here. This is gonna hit pretty hard, but once you hit it 3 times, it's quite free.
Yeah. Kind of annoying that Octomam is surprisingly weak to. Thanks Octomam. Is actually strong, resistant to Holy. So this Crystal Sword Cecil is not going to do as much. So might actually have been better served to actually leave the Avenger on. But either way. Also, because of the mechanics of this Octomam is going to slow down very quickly. So.
And does Cubs actually remember that Tier 3s were an Aggart, and then that's basically you're gonna have a Cane Chemist?
I know, it's a tough one. Yeah, but probably Cane Chemist, given that that was a swing of a Flame Sphere. Not exactly the
most. We
most.
haven't found much of anything else.
But yeah, Cubs should be through this pretty quickly, shortly. And meanwhile, Sorbs is about to get his Avenger.
And then we'll go, oh, this will make Mom Bomb so much easier.
Oh, he's already done Mom Bomb. He's got the Rat Tail.
Yeah, it would have made Mom Bomb much faster for him.
It's the Hook. All right. So that's good news. We can now do Cubs can now do his fifth objective, objective number 2, trade away the Rat Tail. But we still have no idea. Like, we still have to wonder: is that Dark Elf that is waiting for us in the Fame match Algo required?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you check Twin Harp before going back down underground.
I think my suspicion is that I think you actually do you just do Fame match first. I think it's for one, it's so much. You're basically committed to at this point to a faded Twin Harp, given how long it's been since you've done it. But you had it open to you for quite a while. If that actually had something, you've probably lost already, given that you've chosen to fade it. So it makes a lot more sense to just go for the harder check if this doesn't pay off.
Cubs going through so many doors because they're so nice. You have to go through them twice.
Cubs, I hate to tell you, but the 64 floor grip doesn't work there. It's at Dwarf Castle. Also, the glitch is not on, so...
Well, maybe we'll find some other glitch that kind of does something similar eventually. That would be hilarious.
I mean, we just have to ask Accident to see if that is true or not. But yeah, we're about to find out. What does this Rat Tail lead to? The Pan! Oh boy!
Okay, now a question in chat. Do you check the Hook Route character for Fu? Or a healer? I mean, you're probably gonna check the hook route shop anyways for Bacchus.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think it's.
You have exit.
I don't think it's worth the time. I just, given that Cubsrule knows where Cure Frees are, no, we just go. Find we see if there are Bacchus wine here first. Actually, no. We check the shop first. See if there are Bacchus wine for sale. If there aren't for sale, then I would probably go check. If they are, I'm out.
There's our Bacchus. And things are getting sold.
17 Bacchus wine. That's a good number. And okay, Cubsrule is going to go commit to the check. I mean, that's fine. No, that's okay. Like, I mean, it's only about
Foo or
minute,
bust.
Yeah, it's literally full or bust. We're not spending our time to definitely not spending our time to just try to level up literally anyone else. Now here's a question: would you take Tell in this spot if you're Cubs? No, it's okay.
That's a bust.
That is none of the above, so we're good. So, time to complete objective number 1, return to Pan Yang's wife, and then find out what those things lead to.
Because we know there's going to be some form of key items here. What you doing, Cubs? Thought about going to Fit March there?
Yeah,
I take on that Dark Elf.
I mean, it is. If this doesn't lead anything, that's probably where Cubs wants to go next anyway. Like, it's actually of the two checks that are left available to him that aren't required. That is, given that we have Crystal Sword, Avenger Cecil, that is the faster check by a significant margin compared to doing 2.5.
Right. Oof. All right. Pan gives us. I mean, if we get a pink tail, we're gonna be turning it in, of course.
Hey, go mode. That's our go mode. Wow.
Well, okay then.
So, yep.
Fu on Zod for a healer, or is you gonna look for Cure 3s for sale?
I guess the plan is currently to, check the.
I mean,
we're trying to get silk webs, right?
Right. The Cubs didn't shop in Troya, as that's where the silk webs were for sale. So it has the locations where you can guarantee get a silk web from a fight. Well, so to think of it this way, how much time do you want to spend searching around every single shop to find a silk web? Or, hey, I've got a sired, I can steal one. The amount of time you spend sired and stealing can be a lot shorter than you searching every single shop, because it could be the last shop you look at for those silk webs.
I mean, if it's something you're used, like, yeah, I tend to agree with Scythe. Like, you don't need silk webs at all. I tend to, it's not necessary. But that's just a knowledge thing. That's what that comes down to. Oh hey, we can go liberate Baron Castle if we totally want. In fact, we get to loot that rather in, right? Right?
Yeah.
No?
We could go to Earth Crystal, do Zod into Baron.
Now, do you rate this treasury?
I mean, out of the treasury, what can we get out of the treasury that would be worth it? Let's see. Power shirt
is the big one.
That's not the only thing I would think of. So I don't.
A better weapon for Kane. A second Avenger, so that But no, we just go through. No rate. We are in fact fading that treasury.
Yeah, both runners. Cubs just having done Sealed Cave and the Town of Monster, to do a Nijura spot. So, I think Cubs is definitely in the lead here.
Yeah, I
but
agree.
Like, especially with the Yellow Gauntlet at Sealed Cave.
Yeah, and Sorbius is not gonna have a very quick way to get through those fights either. So
Well, I mean, the only way that he get through it faster was if there's a Fu exactly up here, but I don't think it makes up enough time.
yeah, true.
Because if there's a Fu up here, you can get through that gauntlet a lot faster, but I don't think it makes up enough time.
But even then, like it's not like you can use Quake here. You have to use like Fire, because there's at least 2 formations which have flying enemies. So you have to use something like Fire Free or something like that to get through.
Yeah. Tracker. when you turned in the rat tail, you got the Earth Crystal. One should have Baron as well.
Yeah, but I don't think Sorbs has returned gone to
Did Sorbs not turn
2 yet.
Oh, I wonder why. That's Hey, the monster box loot? Well, I mean, have we looted any trap chests recently?
I mean, last chest. Hey, a white mage.
Yeah.
Just in time. Totally getting a white mage right now, right?
Oh yeah, totally trading out. You know, our arcane for this Rosa, gonna give her levels. It's worth. I mean, we've got the Yellow Gauntlet to get her levels, right? Well,
look, that's another white mage.
Yeah. So let's see. That puts our Fu either at Baron, Giant, or Package.
Oh, we are
really doing it.
I mean, here's the thing for Sorbs. Sorbs did not check the hook shot. Did not check the hook shot first. So,
True.
Also, hi.
Good thing we're anchored for this spot. It's not something you think about anchoring.
Bye, Wyvern.
Yeah, magic at this spot hits hard.
Just a touch. So to explain why it does that much, magic's really high here. The developers want to make sure that Valvalis could land her stone casts and since stone has a very low accuracy, yeah, they had to boost the magic to make it hit, basically.
Well, we're waiting for, the exit cast that Rosa gets lured here. But go ahead and make sure to give a shout out both to our runners, Sorbius and Cubsrule, putting on an amazing show, and our restream here, Escrunt for rolling this wonderful seed, Science Marshall doing the tracking, and my commentator Infinius here. And we get the package. Do you check that?
No, like, if nothing else, I would feel like that's at this point you're probably just gonna grind. No, do a bit of grind just to get levels, but that's about it. And that's assuming you actually want to do that. I guess for Cubs,
I think Cubs may remember. Okay, Cubs did remember that Cure 3s were here. Might have some technical difficulties here on Sorbius' side here, so we've got Cubs going on over to Eggert. Gonna be selling a bunch of things to be able to afford a ton of Cure 3s here.
Also some tents apparently, but
I mean, always gotta have the camping gear, right?
Yeah.
So where Okay, Sorbs is turning in the pan right now.
Yeah. So Sorbius still has to head back underground and deal with the Ogre spot, which is also probably what factors into his calculation here. Is that since he needs to go, he probably needs a white mage to take on the Ogre spot. So because he needs to be able to heal things. So it's a reasonable enough gamble to do this.
And Cubs taking on that early Ogo, just huge play there.
Yeah, that probably just getting the extra levels, just kind of like also actually completing the sealed cave check as opposed to just resetting out at the time. That's gonna. It's just I think those two things have really put Cubs well ahead at this point.
Yeah. So we've got a long walk ahead of us because Cubs does not have the pass. As it's at Twin Harp.
Yep. I suppose at that point, like, if you feel that you're a bit short on levels, you can. I think Cubs might have bought some hourglasses, so it might be okay to do one set of Gold Dragon King Muse. We actually add 15 key items at this point, so
picked up 3 stars, Sorbs aside.
Yeah, so probably going to get Rosa online somewhat and then go.
Yeah, gonna want to have your white mage at least be somewhat survivable in the upcoming fights, or if doesn't get enough experience from the sealed cave to be able to survive.
I mean, that's a big assumption right there that we can do things that way. But no, Cubs is just going for it. We are probably going to at the very least
we're gonna hit the save point.
The save here, and then start the slow trek down.
Yeah, I really don't think there's any really slowness on Cubs' side. I think, the Stalemate Skeleton Chest, you may feel a little bit behind, but taking on the early Ogo and then the Gauntlet, those type of fears just start going away. So, not thinking about doing a swag walk, thinking, I've got time. I can spend a little time to save.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. Like, no, just gotta take the time to save. No time. Like, we're going in slightly under what? Like, we're at level high 30s, I believe. So, this might be a somewhat spicy Zeromus fight, but but you never know. But I believe we are now kind of obliged to ask some sort of question.
Yeah, I think it might be nap time. The good old Z's. For sleeping.
I mean, I'm sure that the people in chat are totally wanting to see the revival of Zimbabwean cricket. It's kind of sad what's happened to that country nowadays.
I shall let you do the honors.
Okay, sure. So the thing about the Zeromus fight is it is a very rude fight. No one really wants to get suffer a big ban at, I don't know, say Antlion Cave. So what we do is that, so we just leave him where he is. However, we do randomize what Zeromus looks like. We have a whole bunch of about over 500, I believe, Zeromus fights this could be. So, but as per custom in this threat, we ask ourselves, whose butt are we going to kick tonight? And is it cute? And is it a cat, apparently?
Does it have a hat? Does it even have a butt to kick? Yeah, how many as well? There's a few sprites there that have multiple butts.
Mastermas. You lost me on that one, I believe.
I know I've seen it before. I cannot remember where it's from.
Masterman from Mother 3, okay.
Cubs, you're waiting on Tella's turn to do a Cure 4 on whoever takes the counter nuke.
Perfect!
Perfect target. Gotta love it when a good plan comes together.
Yep. So I guess we're actually going with Kane Chemist here. Kane
which is
Chemistry.
perfectly fine. I mean, does have a Gungnir Spear, but I think Edge and Cecil are going to definitely put out more damage than Kane, so definitely having a Chemist Kane here is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah. It might just be we're just going for a two Zerka strat and then have I don't know, it's kind of risky if you're going to try and full nerf at this point. You might actually just be better off just like having Kane hit, just be pure Chemist and just take a swing as opposed to nerf, because if it hits Cess, we are going for a nerf. And
yeah, I think we definitely have to go for a nerf, because an unnerfed Big Bang will wipe this party with the health totals.
Yeah.
Even Kane fully healed up will still wipe if a high roll happens. 2700 HP, everyone's done.
Now, oddly enough, that's probably a good target there. You probably didn't want it to be Kane. You probably didn't want it to be Cecil who takes the counter mute. So
yeah, I think with the equipment that we've had, I think Edge would probably.
Although it looks like we faced.
there.
Well, it looks like we faced it. We faced it. So
could have been a fake shake.
Yeah. So the first time was a fake shake. So now we're in kind of trouble here. If that first shake was a fake shake, so we have to. We now just have to. We're at the praying phase, because I think this might be a bit too late. Oh no, okay. That's okay. No, we might be good now.
And Cubs did learn a lot in the Pink Puff League.
Now, the annoying thing is that the only person that's going to be alive is Kane, so we're going to have to have a whole bunch of time resetting up. Oh wow, Edge lived. Wow. I would not guess that. No, I think that was meant to be a...
Black Hole on Edge's next available turn, you actually just pop a Cure 3 on himself at that point, because otherwise he will die.
I'm not sure, because like the Saptis might actually just get him. Yeah, that's what I thought. The Saptis was going to get him. All right, Kane lived the nuke. All right, so we're still in a shot.
Come on, Cecil.
Adventure Glitch doing a whole bunch of work here. The fact that we're still swinging with a Crystal Sword, essentially, despite the fact that Cecil died, he's still zerked. Yeah, I think we might actually have to abandon plans, and that's rocks.
Yeah, that's rocks. Okay. That is. Whoo, and Cecil.
Ooh, Cecil dodged. Okay, that's probably game. That's probably game right there.
Now we're swinging.
And there's the flash. There's the dot done. Cubsrule is our winner, has taken our Blitz group with a time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 32 seconds. GG's to Cubsrules, and congratulations on winning on the win.
Yeah, which puts Sorbs into the play-in group, so check that out. We'll have to see when that gets scheduled, as there's pretty big ties in a lot of different groups.
Alright, we will see if we are able to get Cubsrule for an interview.
And I think I hear the dude. I think we're joined by Cubs. GG's Cubs.
Is my voice working? I honestly have no idea. What even was that scene?
Look. Yeah, that we made a few remarks of that type as well, to be honest, because like you basically faded. All you did in terms of fades in terms of Earth was that Dark Elf and the Twin Harp, and you walked out with 7 key items. Was there any temptation to do those other 2 checks first before heading up to diving the moon?
Not the elf. I thought about maybe doing music, but Sorbius, if I was gonna beat Sorbius, I knew I was gonna have to do something and get lucky. So I'm still in shock. Good lord.
Okay, so the biggest turning point, you took on the Ogo Pogo early on. That fight was a masterpiece.
With the Moon Veil from the rat tail chest. I would not have taken on that fight without that. I had a single Bacchus from somewhere, so between those two and the full moon in the shop that actually let me back row edge, that's all that let me get through that fight. I was wanting to save the full moon for sealed cave, or the moon veil for sealed cave, but I mean, obviously as it turned out, would have been good for one fight. I hate that gauntlet. I really hate that gauntlet.
But it's got Vamp Lady. Who doesn't love Vamp Lady?
I hate that gauntlet.
But honestly, really well done to actually think through a way through that Ogo fight. No, because yeah, it was gonna be close no matter what. So, but at least he fought through it and he came up with a plan and he executed it amazingly.
I thought with the wipe at Mom Bomb at Ribbon, after that was a several-minute wipe that I thought was going to be the race. I'm guessing it pretty much canceled out not doing Twin Harp. But
look. Yeah,
I once that wipe hit, I don't know. I'm shocked that everything... The Avenger from Crystal Sword, I don't complete that seed without that. And that Z fight, I thought my last Z fight was bad. No, I never want to do that again. I'm very happy never having a fight like that again. No.
It was calculated, okay?
Yeah.
Sure, well, let's go with that. It sounds a lot better.
Yeah, you got tricked by the fake shake, but other than that, it all went according to plan.
Wow.
So for what it's worth, if you go watch this back, Sorbs also struggled with that Mum Bomb as well, without any source of berserk. Those fights are always going to be rough.
That moon was awful. I had to throw the kitchen sink at the Mega Sisters. There were fortunately a couple easy ones after that. But between the Mega Sisters and Bomb Bomb, no White Mage, no Berserk. Good lord.
Did you think about picking up some Tier 3 support going to the moon, or
I saw them right before I went underground, and I decided against it because I figured there weren't really the real offensive use of them was really gone. So I didn't really think it would help too much, to be honest. I thought I would encounter a White Mage before I went to the moon, but clearly that was mistaken. Is every White Mage locked behind that rat tail? I think they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Good
lord. Has to be.
Unless one's at Giant, and no one's taking on Giant with that party.
You could have done a Mac Giant grind.
Those are words I don't want to hear in this tournament.
You could have done... wait until brackets.
Oh god, I actually have to start thinking about brackets now, don't I?
Yeah, yes you do! Now you've won the Blitz group, you have to think about bracket flags, where you do not get access to one Cecil Harvey, nor do you get Fusaya.
Yeah, it's funny. So... I said the whole time, you know what? You don't have to worry about brackets if you don't make brackets. Well, guess I screwed myself there a little bit. Oops. No,
okay.
Very much looking forward to brackets, to the flags. This tournament has been a blast so far. I never thought I would be anywhere close to this. I was hoping for one win, maybe two. And to somehow win the group is so far beyond any expectations I could have had coming into this that I'm still in shock.
you did represent the pink puffs really well in that regard. Like like showing that pink puffs should not be taken for granted nowadays. No win can be considered a free win. I think if nothing else, this is what this tournament has actually showed everyone. Everyone always has a shot.
Yeah. I don't know that I would have believed that myself going into this, but good lord. Wow.
Any other thoughts on this particular seed?
I have words for S-Grunt that I can't use on this platform. We will have those words later. This seed is awful.
Look, you had a crystal sword. How can it be awful?
Crystal Sword solves a lot of things. It doesn't solve not having healing items. Let's just say
you knew where Cure Freeze. You knew where Cure Freeze were. You can pull the
Okay, fair, but still. No, I'm really looking forward to watching this one back, seeing just what happened here. Thank you both for the commentary. Scythe, thank you for the buttons. S-Grunt, I said we'll have words later. Don't worry, I promise you that. No, thank you. I can't say thank you enough. I'm just still in shock.
This has been one race to really commentate. Like it was a battle to win Blitz Group, and this seed really did it to show it that this is what it was meant for.
So, have you had a peek at who your potential opponents could be on the other side of the bracket yet, or is that's that future Cubs problem?
I believe one of them is currently tracking this race right now. I believe that is the case, and I think it's the loser of Kyrios and Moonblaze.
Yeah, and then that playoff, and then I believe they play off against Scythe. Yes, I think it is actually Scythe. Yeah.
No, whoever comes out of that group is incredibly talented, and I'm very much looking forward to the next round to seeing what happens. But I do see that Sorbius is nearing the end, so I will duck on out and let him have his moment. Thank you very much, everybody. I got nothing else.
Again, well run, GG's.
Yeah, GG's and congratulations once again.
Alright, so that was Cubsrule. Again, great run by Cubs. Well executed, and we see Sorbius has gone through to all the objectives, is in rocks, so we'll be done with the Z fight here shortly. Oh boy, do we have some races going on tomorrow. Once we get done with the interview, with Sorbs, if he decides to come in, we'll go over those. And there's a snap, crackle, boom, and the doo-doo in my ear. GG's Sorbius.
Yeah, that was a seed of randomness that happens.
I mean, you had a crystal sword. It can't have been that bad.
It was a crystal sword and a Cecil. That is very true. However, there weren't any white mages or Bacchus wines or Avengers until the end of the seed.
You could have dove the giant to find a white mage potentially.
It's true.
Just it's a thing you could have done.
A lot of things
you should have done it
with the seed, like just leave an hour ago. But anyway, it was definitely a time. I mean, despite losing, considering how awkward that seed was, I still feel pretty good about my time.
Yeah, I think it kind of started going off the rails when you felt obliged to use that Moon Veil on that Paladin on that Paladin fight, which ended up being incredibly slow. Just because you had two sets of Dragoon gear on Kayn, if you had split them up between Kayn and I believe Sid, you might have gone through that without having to use that Moon Veil. and probably meant that just locked you off from doing that Ogopogo sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't think I was going to try that Ogopogo without Cecil anyway.
Hmm.
Or at all until we had no other thing to do.
Yeah, in that case, I probably encourage you watch through this because Cubs actually did that Ogre fight before doing Tower. And just had enough things to be able to get through that fight. So but made use of the resources that he had available to him.
Yeah. So this puts you at 3-2, Sorbs. You got to do a play-in race to secure second. How do you feel about that?
Not as good as if I had won tonight. I have to run back a race against Y2 Sky, I think, and I beat them on Wednesday, so I just have to do it again.
Yeah, that's fair enough approach to take. Hope that past results yields future success.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, or, I'm just done playing for Enterprise for a bit, which is also fine. I can go back to doing some ladder stuff or Elden Ring or whatever. I was hoping to have the week off and not have to do the play-in in order to practice more for brackets, but this is the world we find ourselves in now.
All right, well, I don't have any other questions. Do you have any other questions, Phineas?
No, I think that just was basically where are my key items? Why are they all gated by that hook and rat tail on the moon? What the heck?
Yeah, see also where are my Bacchus wines and white mages?
Yeah, because there were Bacchus wines on the hook route, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean, I was about to go to Zeromus at that point, so yeah.
But no, that's it. Again, GG's. Commiserations for coming second here, and I hope you do well in your plane race against Y2 Sky.
Thanks, and thanks everyone for putting this on. I enjoy these tournaments. I enjoy being restreamed. It's always a good time, and I'll see you all later.
Ready. GG's again, and I think it's that time. But before we go,
we're talking about cricket?
Well, before that, we've got some races going on so much as we're coming near the end of the group stages. So tomorrow we have at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we have Infinius versus Bad Karma.
I think you'll find that actually is a free player tiebreaker for first place. Just
okay. Well,
so with Pyre, there's Pyre involved as well. So 2 great runners, and then myself, who's probably gonna come third. So the usual.
Then we come to 11 a.m. We have Sheep Launcher versus Arusta.
Yeah, but not sure. But you also have also being restreamed on Free Enterprises a certain Alchemy versus Tivolt. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I got to get one win, right? I was going to get to restream once I got through the rest of the races.
Yeah. I mean, true. That's true. There's a lot of races coming on. So.
Well, we're almost done. So we've just got, at noon, we've got Leggy Starscream versus Commander. And then later on, at the 3 o'clock, we've got myself versus Alchemy. 7, we have Rex Banner versus Dusty Griff. At 8, we have Gemini Hero versus Zilch. At 9, we've got Woobear versus Solaris. And that's the rest of the races. As far as it goes for the ones that are being restreamed here between our channels, we've got the 3-way race here on Free Enterprise. Then we have back on Free Enterprise again, myself versus Alchemy. And then the 9 o'clock race, Woobear versus Solaris.
Oh, there's also a last minute race that's, I believe, another tiebreaker, which is at 1 p.m., which is Mecha Link versus Plumerian Knights. I believe is that a tiebreaker? I'm not sure. But I know that It's not okay. It's not tiebreak. It's just a very late scheduled match. Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, still plenty of free enterprise going on, and then we get to the bracket stages after a bit of a break. But let's see where we all gonna send you on over to. It looks like we're gonna be sending you on over to Destil, who's playing some free enterprise. Hope to see you all next time as we like to put up these shows on you again. One final shout out here to our restreamer Escon for rolling this wonderful thing, Scythe Marshall for doing the wonderful tracking, and my co-commentator Infinius.
My pleasure. This was definitely a fun one to talk through, and I hope to see you all in the watching Free Enterprise in the future.